What's up, y'all? My bad, gave me eating. But hey, we're about to react to what's the difference between socialism and fascism and communism. This is from Dennis Prager's perspective. I don't know if you guys know who Dennis Prager is, but Dennis Prager is a very conservative man. He's a very conservative man, and definitely we're gonna hear it from his perspective. Subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, smash that like button up. I know I said that, man. Y'all know y'all gotta smash the like button, man. Y'all know y'all gotta smash that like button. But y'all know I love y'all though. Like every video, I keep saying this in every video, but I don't want to keep asking you on every single video to smash the like button. Y'all should know to do this, man. Y'all should know to do this. Know to do this. But anyways, I'm gonna give Dennis Prager. Hopefully I don't get triggered by Dennis Prager. If I get triggered, it is what it is. But let's see what he thinks the differences between socialism, fascism, and communism is. These differences are simple to figure out. But when you hear a progressive and a conservative talk about the differences, it's mighty funny how like you hear some differences in how they think about it. Like it's mighty funny how different it sounds from both perspectives. But let's give it a go. Let's see. All right, put it back and let's go.
My name's Heather, I'm from Los Angeles. I just wanted to get your thoughts and explanation on the differences between socialism, fascism, and communism, especially with this last election cycle. I feel like we saw those words thrown around a lot, but I just wanted to know like, what exactly are the differences between those three?
So, the words are...
Love the cigar, man. Love the cigar, I might have to do that. Let's see what he said.
...thrown around. That is largely true, and they've taken on a life of their own. I'll tell you what they really mean, and I'll tell you what they mean in usage. Not the same thing.
Okay.
So, let's see. Fascist, socialist, communist. Okay. So, fascist is what left-wingers use to describe everyone who's anti-left. This has been true, by the way, I'm not kidding about that. My field of study in graduate school at Columbia, of all places, was...
No. The left doesn't use fascism to call everybody who disagrees with them. They use fascism to describe the people who believe in government control that is oppressive. Like banning people's right to abortion, all kind of stuff like that. That's where they use the term fascist. They don't just throw it around at everybody. They throw it around at the people who talk about things that seeming to be subjugating other people's rights. That's what they call the fascists. So... let's keep going though. Hopefully he actually describes what a fascist is, and I will correct him if he's wrong.
The left was communism. I studied Russian in order to be able to read Soviet communist papers. I visited communist countries repeatedly. And the first to do this was Stalin, the monster. Tens of millions of people slaughtered and countries enslaved. If a human could be a monster, he was a monster. He came to power, let's see, Lenin died in 1924, if I'm not mistaken. So he came to power by about 1928, and he battled for power in the Soviet Union with Kamenev, Zinoviev, Bukharin, and Trotsky. That was right. So there were four rivals plus Stalin. And Trotsky, who was the founder of the Red Army and the Communist Party with Lenin, fled the Soviet Union, and he fled to Mexico.
Keep in mind, the question is, what is fascism? Why are you talking about a socialist? What is fascism? Fascism is Hitler, according to history. Fascism is Hitler, Mussolini, and I forgot what the Spanish dictator's name was, but those people are fascists. Why are we talking about Stalin? Stalin was a communist. Why are we talking about Stalin? Like, he's deflecting far away from the conversation right now. Getting triggered! He's deflecting far away from the conversation right now. I don't like that. Stay on the point. What is a fascist?
Where Stalin sent some goons to kill him with an ice pick, and they did kill him with an ice pick. Stalin introduced the idea that if you oppose the left, you're a fascist. Basically, if you oppose me, the leading leftist, you're a fascist. So fascist became the term that anyone anti-left was called to the American elections this day, or even in Europe.
That is a lie. Stalin called fascist. He genuinely called fascist people fascist. Not defending Stalin. Stalin was a terrible person. One, he was not the leading leftist because he really didn't fully believe in left-wing ideology. He fully didn't really believe in it. But he was not, no. He called fascists who were fascist. Hitler was a fascist. He called Hitler a fascist. Oh, what was the dude's name? Mussolini was a fascist. He called him a fascist. These were actually fascist. Not just because a person is a bad person doesn't mean you can't agree with him. But let's keep going.
Not just leftists, the liberals even do that. And I draw a distinction between liberal and left. But they frequently will say that the anti-leftists are fascists. What is a fascist? Fascist is essentially ultra-nationalist, anti-democratic, authoritarian regime. Okay? So
that's 100% right. That's exactly what it was.
Italy had it. They used it.
Which I would make the debate, right? I think leftists would probably make this debate too. And we can argue this in the comment section. Was Stalin a fascist? It's debatable. Stalin did the exact same. What he just said is exactly what Stalin was. Was he a fascist? Let's talk about it.
The term first fascism comes from an Italian word. Mussolini was the obvious example.
Sure.
Hitler was a fascist, but Hitler was really a Nazi. Nazism was a more severe form because Nazism introduced what is not necessarily part of fascism, racism. Nazism was race-based fascism, whereas for Mussolini, fascism was just fascism. Mussolini, to the best of my knowledge, was not particularly an anti-Semite.
Oh man, quit adding to the words. Fascists are fascist. Point blank, period. Don't add race-based fascist. Don't add any of that. Fascists are fascist. Point blank, period. Anyone who condones in a totalitarian government and presses for that is most definitely a fascist. Period.
But Hitler was, of course, the great Jew hater of all time. So fascism is an ultra-nationalist, authoritarian government. It suppresses democracy, and it is ultra-nationalist, among other things, but those are the major ones. So both socialist and communist, they're on the left. Socialist is one who believes in socialism. Obviously, socialism is a bigger and bigger government, where the government takes care of the social order, if you will. The bigger the government, the more likely you are to head towards socialism. But socialism does not abolish mom and pop stores. You could still keep Dennis's pizza parlor open under a socialist government.
That's a fact.
But generally speaking, they will nationalize big things. The railroads, the oil industry, et cetera, et cetera. Communist allows no free enterprise whatsoever. When I visited the Soviet Union, there wasn't a single private restaurant.
Everything belongs to the state.
All you had was restaurant, Russian for restaurant, and that's all. Or place that sold bread would say chleb, which is bread in Russian. Not Vladimir's chleb joint, just chleb, because it was owned by the state. But communist is not just economic. Communist is a suppression of essentially all individuality, because of the belief that everybody should end up in the same place. It's not for equality, it's for equity. Equality is opportunity, equity is result. The left in America is very close to communist in that view. They want equity. Everybody should end up in the same equal playing field, and if they don't, it's proof of racism or sexism or misogyny or whatever you have. So I hope that helps you.
No, it really didn't, and that's not true. Like the left. First of all, that's not the definition of communism. He gave his own definition of communism. Communism is where the state controls. Well, it is the definition, but he was adding things into it. I wanted to be clear. The state controls everything that goes on. The point of it, though, was if the state is in control of what's going on, the state is supposed to help the citizens get to a point where basically it's like a utopia. The whole idea of it came from the utopia. Marx got his idea of communism from the utopia. and it wasn't meant to oppress or suppress anybody. It was just to make everything fair for everybody else. That is a hard system to pull off with the state, because people who take power normally don't want to lose their power or want to give people control. So I like Dennis Prager though. I like the conversation. I like these fireside chats. Might do more of those. Y'all tell me if you want them. I like Dennis Prager though. I like the cigar. The whole cigar concept is pretty dope. But hey, I'm out. Shoo. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.